Why is nobody else protesting with us? We're not the only immigrants. Latinos are not the only immigrants. There's Europeans, there's from Africa, there's from Asia, there's from all over. Where are you guys at? Why are your people not standing with us?
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for watching. What's going on, guys? I am Jade.
Why is nobody else
If you're new
protesting with
here,
us?
please hit the like button and also share this video. It is so mind-boggling to me how easily some people forget. She's out here on Twitter or TikTok moaning and groaning about why is nobody coming with us, why is nobody doing this and why is nobody doing that. Look inward. Ask yourself exactly why nobody is joining force with you. The reason why, because we are tired. It is so interesting to me how this person wants some kind of support, but if they had shown up and supported Vice President Kamala Harris the way they showed up and supported Trump, Trump wouldn't be in office right now. Trump will be, instead of being at the White House, Trump would have been trying to cut some kind of a deal with the prosecutor or whatever, with the courts. He'll be in jail right now. But you guys, because of your proximity, because of how badly you want that proximity to whiteness, you want them to think that you are special. You want them to think that you guys are better than black people. That was how you guys found yourself exactly where you are. You've never supported black people. The only chance that you would have supported black people's causes, you still ended up stabbing black people in the back. You've never had black people's back. Black people have always been the one doing everything. Black people have always been the one supporting. Black people have always been the one being the bigger people, regardless of how badly we have been treated. Black people always put everybody else's causes first. Black people always put everybody else's issues above our own. This was the only time that people would have been like, okay, for all these black people throughout history who have had our backs, black people, but for black people fighting for civil rights, white women will not even have the right to vote. Okay. Again, in my previous video, I was asking why these people are always asking black people for support when they don't reciprocate. Why are you not calling on the white people? Why? Do you know why you're not calling on the white people? Because you know that they could not possibly care less. Trump is giving them exactly what they voted for. They claim to want other things though. They claim the cost of living was too high, groceries was too expensive. None of those things have happened. Okay? Things are still expensive, but do you see them crying? No. Trump is giving them something that they love. Trump is showing them that he's making good. Okay? On the promise to like kick all these illegals out. So don't cry, don't come moaning and groaning to black people. Don't come moaning and groaning to black people. Ask yourselves, ask yourself, okay? Ask yourself the reason why. Somebody says, Jade, I'm listening to her language. Why aren't you people out there with us? Why aren't you people out? Especially, exactly. That language is such a divisive. That language in itself, you people, is already telling me that you really don't even think we are one. You don't even think like that you people language phrase has a very divisive connotation to it. You people. And yet you expect, after all the disrespect, after all the betrayal, pre-election and everything, after you guys lied that you guys were going to have our backs, we cannot have our backs together because black people don't just fight for black people. We fight for everyone. We fight for everyone. You know what I mean? So after you people, now I'm using your words too, after you guys basically turn your backs on black people, now you want to ask black people to come to your aid. Like it doesn't even make any sense. But in their mind though, they swear that they are onto something, that this makes absolute sense to them. but it doesn't. This is what happens. You play stupid game, you win stupid prize. When your words cannot be taken as the gospel, when your words cannot be trusted, when you backstab people, this is what you get. You get stuck with a racist who is going to make good on the only promise that he can possibly make good on, which is deporting your people. That's just how it is.
One thing that I have to ask is got me really, really bothered is where are y'all Black Lives Matter people at, man?
We resting, big homie. Fuck you mean? We did our part. 92%, 88%, we did our part. We went in those boots and we voted for human rights, not black rights, not Mexican rights, not Venezuelan, Guatemalan right. We voted for human rights, big dog. What you need to be doing is asking your people why they sold you the fuck out. You need to be asking your people why they chose their proximity to whiteness over you, over their own people. You need to be asking your people why they went in there and voted away everything my ancestors did that you and everybody else benefited from. Black people been fighting since we came to be, my guy. Since the ones like y'all, you want to throw the weight on the shoulders of black people, but you scared to confront the white people who sold y'all asses out. And yeah, we on hiatus. It's Viva La Nat time over here.
One thing that I have to ask is got me really, really bothered is where
It's Viva La Not time over here. That took me out. That was so funny. Okay. Got you really bothered? Again, like everyone has been asking, myself included, why are you not channeling this energy to the white people that you people voted in alliance with? Why? Why aren't you channeling? And I love the fact that some Latinos are also calling them out, because at the end of the day, anybody who has, common sense can see what happened here. So let me go ahead and share this. Let me go ahead and share this. And kudos to those Latinos that are calling them out and calling them out on their hypocrisy and their complete BS. Like, it's complete bullshit. Go ahead and share this.
So we have a discourse going on between, I think, majority like Mexicans and the Black community. And I just have to say to my Mexican people who are asking why the Black people are not like protesting with us or whatever, why? Why would they? 92% of their women voted for Kamala. 80% of their community of men voted for Kamala. 60% of Latinos voted for Kamala. And I believe the majority were women and the majority were Mexican. But that number is crazy, considering that Hispanics and Latinos are becoming the fastest growing minority. Like, we are going to be the majority soon. And it's crazy for me to think that number was so fucking low. And now you're asking where the Black community is when they're the ones who tried to avoid this. Hello? They tried to avoid this. We all tried to tell you guys, even within my own community. I'm talking to you guys because I did the work. And I know other Latinas who did the work. We were on calls every fucking week. We were writing postcards. We were making phone calls. And you guys were probably nowhere in sight, my Latino community. And now you're begging the Black community to come help us, to come save us. No. I think it's time we learn to save ourselves and let the Black community rest, because my God, have they not done enough fucking work. So yeah. Where were we during the George Floyd protests or the Breonna Taylor?
They were nowhere. And that's the thing that really grinds my gears, right? For that crazy psycho person just now to come and be like, oh, we are always you guys are not. You guys hate Black people with a passion, with such passion. What you are to us is what the white people are to you. The way you guys hate us is the way the white people hate you. They will use you, though. They will use you just like you guys have always used Black people. In your mind, you think you're using Black people, whereas Black people are just like, If everybody is okay, if one minority group is fine, everybody is okay. Okay, there is no freedom for everyone unless there's no freedom for one person unless there's freedom for everyone. Okay, so there is that.
Sandra Bland. When their community was getting killed, where the fuck were we? So we have a discourse going on between, I think, majority like Mexicans and the Black community. And I just have to say to my Mexican people who are asking why the Black people are not like protesting with us or whatever, why? Why would they? 92% of their women voted for Kamala. 80% of their community of men voted for Kamala. 60% of Latinos voted for Kamala. And I believe the majority were women and the majority were Mexican. But that number is crazy considering that Hispanics and Latinos are becoming the fastest growing minority. Like, we are going to be the majority soon. And it's crazy for me to think that that number was so fucking low. And now you're asking where the Black community is when they're the ones who tried to avoid this. Hello? They tried to avoid this. We all tried to tell you guys, even within my own community. I'm talking to you guys because I did the work. And I know other Latinas who did the work. We were on calls every fucking week. We were writing postcards. We were making phone calls. And you guys were probably nowhere in sight, my Latino community. And now you're begging the Black community to come help us, to come save us. No. I think it's time we learn to save ourselves and let the Black community rest. Because my God, have they not done enough fucking work? So yeah. Where were we during the George Floyd protests? Or the Breonna Taylor, Sandra Bland? When their community was getting killed, where the fuck were we?
They don't care.
Because I do not remember seeing
They
any.
were not there. They were too busy trying to be Mr. Nice Guy. They were too busy trying to dissociate from us so that they are not painted as troublemakers, among other things. So yeah, they were nowhere near. They didn't care. They were probably saying, repeating, regurgitating the things that they were hearing from their white friends and about how, oh, Black people deserve this and deserve that. Because that's the one thing that is very, very common. And I want people to know this, right? When it comes to Black people, whenever Black people are advocating for things for our basic, civil rights, or just basic respect, just basic human decency, to be treated the exact same way as others, not better, just the exact same way, they tend to call us, the powers that be tend to call Black people troublemakers. And in many cases, you see like there's the non-Black POCs jumping on that trend, taking up that talking point and basically regurgitating all of the things that they hear being spewed, those anti-Black people sentiments, because they, God forbid, they are ever seen agreeing with some of the things that Black people are asking for, fighting for, even though much of those things are benefited by every single person of color and white women. Okay? But no way. They don't want to join us when it comes down to actually putting in the work, but they want to be there to reap the rewards without actually acknowledging the people who made it possible. So yeah, I think it's very interesting, honestly.
Any Latin people out there. Now, maybe there was one or two of y'all. I don't remember seeing any Mexicans out there.
They were not there. That's just
so why should they put their time, their energy, all of this into helping a group of people who didn't give a shit about them when they needed our help.
Exactly.
Think about that.
Exactly.
Also, where the hell are all your Latinos for Trump at?
Exactly.
Because I see a lot of you guys crying on here that you regret your decision. He lied to us. He used us. Where the fuck are you? Are you out there protesting? Because you
Exactly.
motherfuckers are really the ones who need to be out there.
And that's the thing that I don't understand myself. Like, they can literally be out there with the same sign that they had on when they were defending and supporting Trump. They can literally have the same signs and be like, I supported Trump, I don't like what's going on here. This is not what I was expecting. But you will not see them. But they have all this energy to go after Black people. Like, I don't understand. It's mind-boggling to me. Like, really?
You guys. And all your fucking regrets for voting for him with your dumbasses.
They do.
So before you guys start...
they do regret it, but some of them will never come out and publicly admit that they regret voting for Trump. They will rather take that to the grave, okay? They will take that to the grave. They will never admit that they effed up by voting for Trump. They are too cowardly to admit that, they screwed up. They're too cowardly to admit.
Wondering where the Black people are. Wonder where the fucking Latinos for Trump are. Where the fuck are they? That should be the question we're asking.
Exactly. Let me go ahead and say, meanwhile, the white people who voted for Trump, claiming it's for the economy, Trump has a message for you guys today. Go ahead and play the message that Trump has for you. Those of you white folks who voted for Trump because the economy was so bad under Biden. The economy was so bad. Things are so expensive. That's why we voted for Trump. Hey, here's this message for you guys today. Trump voters, white people, Latino, whoever you are. Here's this message for you as the price of everything, groceries, everything keeps going up. Here is your God King's message.
I hear so much about the word groceries. I used to use groceries a lot on the trail. A word that's like sort of an old-fashioned word, groceries. But groceries is the word that's the most accurate word. And the price of groceries went through the roof. Bacon was levels like nobody's ever seen. You take a look at eggs today. I mean, the eggs are double, triple, quadruple. They're going through the roof. Now, there's some problems that may, a little outside problem with eggs maybe. But, we inherited a mess. I hear so much about the word groceries. I used to use groceries a lot on the trail. A word that's like sort of an old-fashioned word, groceries. But groceries is the word that's the most accurate word. And the price of groceries went through the roof. Bacon was levels like nobody's ever seen. You take a look at eggs today. I mean, the eggs are double, triple, quadruple. They're going through the roof. Now, there's some problems that may, a little outside problem with eggs maybe. But, we inherited a mess.
How do you like that word salad for your egg salad? How do you like Trump voters? How do you like the word salad for your egg salad? Like, seriously, this is who they voted for. The question he was answering was a question about eggs, and because this is the same person who promised to bring down the cost of grocery on day one of him taking over office. This is the person who promised. Holy Mary, you're laughing. It's funny. It's very, very funny. This is the person who promised them that on day one, his number one agenda was to bring down the cost of egg. And right here, there you have him rambling, just pushing forth those word salads. Like, I guess you need egg. Donald Trump, they're still going to need egg for their word salad, okay? They're still going to need eggs for their word salad. This is wild, guys. This is cray cray.
I hear so much about the word groceries. I used to use groceries a lot on the trail. A word that's like sort of an old-fashioned word, groceries. But groceries is the word that's the most accurate word. And the price of groceries went through the roof. Bacon was levels like nobody's ever seen. You take a look at eggs today. I mean, the eggs are double, triple, quadruple. They're going through the roof. Now, there's some problems that may, a little outside problem with eggs, maybe. But, we inherited a mess. I hear so much about the word groceries. I used to use groceries a lot on the trail. A word that's like sort of an old-fashioned word, groceries. But groceries is the word that's the most accurate word. And the price of groceries went through the roof. Bacon was levels like nobody's ever seen. You take a look at eggs today. I mean, the eggs are double, triple, quadruple. They're going through the roof. Now, there's some problems that may, a little outside problem with eggs, maybe. But, we inherited a mess. I hear so much about the word groceries. I used to use groceries a lot on the trail. A word that's like sort of an old-fashioned word, groceries. But groceries is the word that's the most accurate word. And the price of groceries went through the roof. Bacon was levels like nobody's ever seen. You take a look at eggs today. I mean, the eggs are double, triple, quadruple. They're going through the roof. Now, there's some problems that may, a little outside problem with eggs, maybe. But, we inherited a mess. I hear so much about the word groceries. I used to use groceries a lot on the trail. A word that's like sort of an old-fashioned word, groceries. But groceries.
So let me show you guys another video of Trump's supporters who are at the finding out stage of the five. So this is another Trump supporter learning the hard way that they basically play themselves. Okay? So yeah, let's play this.
I might lose my farm because of the government.
Oh no. Who's to blame?
So they had a program out there called the EQIP program to better conserve farmland for agricultural use. We got a contract with them for $240,000, and we have bought different types of material. We've gotten paid out on some of it, but I now have $80,000 worth of material on me today and said, hey, I know we have this signed contract. We're not going to pay out on it.
I'm still waiting for you to say who's to blame.
And unless they lift this pause on payment, I'm going to lose this farm. The reason that they're not able to hold up the contract is our EQIP program is funded by the Inflation Reduction Act. Because of the executive orders,
Whose executive order did this?
there's a pause or a freeze on the funding through the Inflation Reduction Act, and they're not able to pay out on the stuff that we completed or anything going forward. Multiple farms are going to sink if we don't get traction on this and get those funds unfrozen.
It is weird how you never say who's to blame.
Right.
But, considering the EQIP program was part of the Inflation Reduction Act, and that was brought to us by Biden, and now it's been halted by someone who said throughout the campaign that they wanted to terminate the IRA, I think it's important you say who fucking did it, because there is one specific administration who's trying to screw you out of that money. And newsflash, it's not the last one. And while, of course, I don't know exactly who you voted for, the fact that you don't actually say who's to blame for this says a lot. And I don't want anyone to lose their livelihood. That's why we've tried to warn you over and over and over again that this is exactly what would happen. Oh, and it might surprise you to know that it's not that they don't have the money to pay you. They just don't want you to have it.
Yep.
I might lose my farm because of the government.
Oh no. Who's to blame?
So they had a program out there called the EQIP program to better conserve farmland for agricultural use. We got a contract with them for $240,000, and we have bought different types of material. We've gotten paid out on some of it, but I now have $80,000 worth of material on me today and said, hey, I know we have this signed contract. We're not going to pay out on it.
I'm still waiting for you to say who's to blame.
And unless they lift this pause on payment, I'm going to lose this farm. The reason that they're not able to hold up the contract is our EQIP program is funded by the Inflation Reduction Act. Because of the executive orders,
Whose executive order did this?
there's a pause or a freeze on.
And you know what is so sad? In spite of everything that is going on, they are still trying to protect Trump. I don't necessarily think they are trying to protect Trump because they love Trump so much and they agree. I think it's self-preservation. Remember, a lot of these people also built their platforms, okay, with pro-Trump sentiments and pro-Trump ideas and pro-Trump this and pro-Trump that. You know what I mean? So the survival of their platforms rests on continuing to be pro-Trump. Okay? And that's the reason why They are not name dropping Trump as the reason, because they know that a majority of their viewers and their followers will not take to kindly, because those ones don't want to hear anything negative about Trump. If you don't have anything positive to say about Trump, just don't say anything. That's how they roll. And because of that, he's obviously expressing frustration at a very clear and present situation that is going to affect his livelihood, and his investments and everything. But he's still being very cautious about what he says, because he does not want to anger MAGA. He doesn't want to rub MAGA the wrong way. So if that is not a cult, my people, I don't know what is. If this right here is not a cult, I have no idea what that is, because at the end of the day, somebody is screwing you over, but you are so afraid of the repercussions that you cannot even name them by name who it is that is doing this. The Biden administration did not do this. The Biden administration tried to save you. And that's the thing. That's one of the biggest problems that this Trump administration has, right? They saw USAID, for example, and they thought, they saw, this is the agency that is always sending money to foreign countries, without realizing so many other things that were tied to it in America that kept the American economy going, because they didn't care. They wanted to showboat. They wanted to show to the voters, to the racist people, that, yeah, we're cutting ties. We're cutting finances. We're cutting financial aid from all these countries, all these very poor countries. They are not our problems anymore. They are their own problem. Not realizing, being too short-sighted to see that ultimately, if you cut fundings for these programs, they are going to affect not just the people, not just Americans who are outside of the country, who are already working in these countries that these aids are going to. They will also affect Americans. Okay? This USAID is going to affect over 52,000 jobs. That's what this USAID is going to affect. Over 52,000 jobs are going to be impacted by it. And then let's talk about the farmers who are in America, who also have contracts to supply food to other countries that are also tied to the USAID. All these farmers are already losing money as soon as that agency was disbanded. All these people, these farmers, everybody is losing money. Many of these are arrested. Many of these are people who actually voted for Trump. And they are at the receiving end. You know the difference between Trump voters and Democrats? Democrats, yes, they did their best to make sure that they vote for the candidates that was going to serve everyone's best interest and not just their own. Everyone. But because they understood the situation, they understood what was at stake. They understood that if Trump wins, it is going to affect them in a very, very serious way. And that's the reason why, with everything that is going on now, with all these tears, with all these terrible immigration policies, even this guy, the situation that this guy has, obviously, Democrats voters who didn't vote for Trump are also going through the same thing. But the difference is that the reason why they don't come out to moan and groan and act all surprised, the reason why Democrat voters don't come out and act all surprised, because they knew, they had already educated themselves about Trump and what he was about and what he was going to do. And it is just like prophecies coming true for most Democrats, because we knew he was going to do it. So we had the good sense to prepare ourselves for the outcome, prepare for the worst, hope for the best, and see what happens. And so that's the reason why Democrats, as affected as they are about these policies, that's why you will never see them coming out and moaning Yes, they might come and complain about, just bring awareness about how Trump's policy is affecting them, but they will never come here acting all surprised because they know what he was about. They know exactly what he planned to do. But you see, these Trump voters, they are, and that's why I take so much pleasure in just hearing them moan and groan, because they believed everything that this man said to them, hook, line, and sinker. And now they are realizing that, whoa, they literally played themselves. Hi, Connie. They are realizing that they played themselves. And because they played themselves, they are moaning and groaning because they cannot imagine that this could have happened to them. Yeah. And another important thing that I also want to say is that the USAID, I think I already pointed this out before. The USAID is tied to a lot of things. If the Trump administration had done their research, as opposed to just giving Elon Musk the key to the kingdom to do as he saw fit, they would have known that it was not as easy. It was not a one straight road. It was not a one straight road. It was complicated. It's like a tree with many branches, the USAID. It's a tree with many branches, and a lot of things are tied to it. It's not just about the foreign aid, the foreign help, or whatever, which really is a very important part to preserve the lives of America, to preserve the lives of Americans. Yeah, that's why prior to Donald Trump, no president in history has ever even cited that, has never even tried to even go near there, because it is very complicated. And the work that they do is not just about handing millions of dollars to poor developing countries. It's way more than that. That agency is also protecting Americans from diseases that have the possibility, that have the potential of really ruining people, even in America. There are labs outside of America that are holding, that are studying different kinds of viruses, 28 viruses that don't even have a cure right now. And those viruses are only these agencies are funding research. Imagine now that Trump has cut this funding for this agency. Guess what's going to happen? America is now vulnerable to allowing all kinds of diseases, including the ones that are not yet even that they don't even have treatment for. You can't tell Americans not to travel. So when they travel to all these other places and they catch something and bring it to America, who do you think is going to suffer? So this is the reason why these agencies are very, very important, especially the USAID. It is a tree with so many branches, so many things tied to it. Okay? It is a tree with so many branches. So it is so laughable to me that even these Trump voters, even realizing that he's directly responsible for their misfortune right now, he's directly responsible for all of the things that are happening with regards to their business or whatever. But because of fear, they still cannot mention him by name, for fear of retribution, for fear that mentioning him by name will cause them to lose their viewers who are predominantly MAGA. So it's between the devil and the deep blue sea. It's between the rock and the hard place. And I love it for them. It couldn't have happened to a more shittier people. Let's keep listening.
On the funding through the Inflation Reduction Act, and they're not able to pay out on the stuff that we completed or anything going forward. Multiple farms are going to sink if we don't get traction on this and get those funds unfrozen.
It is weird how you never say who's to blame. But, considering the EQIP program was part of the Inflation Reduction Act, and that was brought to us by Biden, and now it's been halted by someone who said throughout the campaign that they wanted to terminate the IRA, I think it's important you say who fucking did it, because there is one specific administration who's trying to screw you out of that money. And newsflash, it's not the last one. And while, of course, I don't know exactly who you voted for, the fact that you don't actually say who's to blame for this says a lot. And I don't want anyone to lose their livelihood. That's why we've tried to warn you over and over and over again that this is exactly what would happen. Oh, and it might surprise you to know that it's not that they don't have the money to pay you, they just don't want you to have it.
Yep. Yep. I'm loving this, okay? I am loving this. So let's go over some reactions from people who are reacting to Trump voters moaning and groaning, especially about, let me go ahead and share my screen here. Okay, let's
To
listen
all the
to
people
this.
who now regret voting for Trump, I don't know how else to say this. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I do not give a fuck. All of us who voted for Kamala and tried to tell you not to vote for Trump, we do not give a fuck.
Yep.
You made your decision. Now you got to sit in it. How you liking those $17 eggs? Is that fun? You having a good time? I was hearing some broadcasts of people in northern North Carolina saying that they were regretting their choice because life had gotten harder for them. The signs were always there. Like, I don't know how else. Did you not live through the first presidency? Did you not listen to the things that he was saying? Do you not remember how over 1 million people died in this country because of the way he handled COVID? Do you not remember anything? Honestly.
When he was telling people to inject bleach, knowing that enough people were stupid enough to vote for him, knowing that enough people were clueless enough to vote for him, and they will possibly take his advice. Imagine the FDA, the Food Drug Administration people, basically having to release a statement, a memo, telling people to please not inject bleach after hearing Trump tell them about injecting bleach. Okay? So imagine that.
What did you think was going to happen?
Exactly.
I do not feel sorry for you.
I don't
None of
either.
us feel sorry for you. You did this, and now you got to sit in it for the next 4 years or however long he's in office.
Yeah.
To all the people who now regret voting for.
Yeah. Let's listen to another one.
Is there any regrets yet? For the people that voted, do y'all have any regrets? Because what was spoken is not even being done. Now USPS. Have you heard about that? We can't get anything from Shein, from Temu, none of that. Because China's not beat. I don't know what's going on. I don't really like to talk about all this. But this is insane. Like, I'm not even understanding this process for real. I mean, me personally, I don't vote because anybody can say anything out their mouth, right? I want to see if it's true with everything that he said. You know, everybody sat there and talk about the other person, how she this, she that, she did this, and she's saying that. But what did they say and what's going on right now? Oh no, do y'all feel like this gonna be like a World War III or something? There's gonna be something. Something's gonna happen. It's crazy. We can't even call it. We just gotta wait on it. It's
Somebody echoed what I have been saying, and the person says, but my guys believe he's fulfilling all his promises and is exactly what they voted for. Yes, we are heading to World War III. Don't know about the World War III part, but that MAGA definitely believe. And I do think that the Latino for Trump people, they also know that MAGA is happy about the way he's handling this immigrant situation. And that's the reason why none of them is calling on the MAGA people. Okay? That's the reason why they're not calling on the MAGA people to come and help them and resolve this Trump's immigration policies, even though they voted alongside MAGA. Okay, but now they can't call MAGA because they see that MAGA is all over the internet rejoicing, celebrating about everything. Olatusija says, people should look at People should look at it this way. How can Donald, who filed for bankruptcy 6 times, run a good economy? Exactly. But they will, let's not even go into the rabbit hole of what they think about that information. They actually, in their ridiculous, stupid mind, they think it is a good thing. Some of them will literally tell you that filing for bankruptcy was a good thing that he did. Like, no serious businessman files for bankruptcy. None. Only a loser, only somebody who collects and refuses to pay file for bankruptcy. Okay? Only people who take and refuse. And people who file for bankruptcies have no respect. Nobody respects people who file bankruptcies. Nobody does. Okay? Except for maybe MAGA. MAGA are the only people who think it's a good thing to file for bankruptcy. Let me give you an example of what happened recently. Because in Canada, an election is coming on the I believe it's the 27th. So provincial election is coming. And I think this was just part of the ways of the Ontario government trying to win some votes, bribery without bribery. But there was a tax rebate that they were going to give to every single person who filed tax last year. It was going to be a little special Christmas, post-Christmas bonus for Ontario residents. People, after Christmas, the pocket is usually very dry, not a lot of money, so people are always struggling. A lot of people are after Christmas, after spending all of their money on Christmas. So they were going to give that. So they said they were going to give people in January, but then I guess they realized that, you know what, we can extend it a little bit closer to the election. So they started end of January, beginning of February, they started to roll out the check. We're going to give every single person who did their tax, who filed tax last year, 2024, they're going to give every single person $200. Doesn't matter your income bracket, doesn't matter if you're a billionaire, doesn't matter if you only make whatever you make, doesn't matter. As long as you filed tax last year, you're going to get $200 per person. And if you have family, if you're a family with children, every children that are under you are also going to get $200 each, every adult. But do you know who were exempted from that? People who filed bankruptcy and people who did not file tax. Those were the two main people, and people who are in prison. Okay, so people who did not file tax did not get $200. People who are in prison did not get $200 from the Ontario government, and people who filed for bankruptcy did not get. Okay, so do you see that these three groups of people are basically they are like the bottom of the barrel financially when it comes to finances. So imagine being in the same financial situation, the same judgment with somebody who is in prison. Imagine somebody who is in prison and somebody who is bankrupt, who has filed bankruptcies, being in the same financial group of lack of respect. Again, like I said, everybody got that money. They even said if you don't need it, you can send it back. But they're just going to give every single tax-paying Ontario resident. If you're a billionaire, if you're a millionaire, it doesn't matter. It was just something that the government was going to do to support you, So imagine them saying if you file for bankruptcy and if you're in prison, you don't get $200. That says a lot. That tells you how little respect people have. Generally speaking, okay, there are people who file for bankruptcy are financially irresponsible. They are not respected financially. That's the reason why if you're going to rent a house or buy a house or do whatever, they make you go through that credit check process. If you've recently filed for bankruptcy in the last 7 years, for sure you're not going to get, they're not going to rent you a place. Forget you trying to buy a house when you file for bankruptcy. But these are the people that MAGA thinks are very smart. So Trump in MAGA world is very smart because he filed for bankruptcy 6 times. Like, it is a doozy. The whole situation is crazy. Like, it's like topsy-turvy, upside down world in the MAGA area. Like, it's crazy. It's wild. Anyways, let's keep going. There's another one.
It scares me very much to say this.
So this is another person who voted. This person literally voted for Trump, and now she's crying.
It scares me very much to say this. But I know how I was brainwashed. I know how I was brainwashed. I'm so scared right now.
Is there any regrets yet?
To all the people who now regret voting.
It scares me very much to say.
Fine. Yeah. It's crazy how you blow my mind. It's so.
Hold on, sorry.
It scares me very much to say this. But I know how I was brainwashed.
Is there?
To all the people
onto their skin, and it's going to make them a male. Here's your dead.
Oh my goodness, sorry. Okay.
It scares me very much to say this. But I know how I was brainwashed. I know how I was brainwashed.
So this one is basically claiming that she was brainwashed into voting for Trump. Nobody brainwashed you, ma'am. Nobody brainwashed you. Fuck out of here with that nonsense. You knew exactly. It was your hate, okay? It was your hate for the others. It was your hate for other people. It was your hate, your bigotry, your divisive mindset that led you to get to vote for somebody who did not have your best interest. There was no brainwashing involved.
I'm so scared right now.
We were all getting the same information. We were all getting the same information, and the information was attractive enough for you to go against your better judgment because ultimately they were what you actually wanted.
Oh, fuck. It scares me very much to say this.
Fine.
Okay. So this one says she voted for Trump. Now she fears losing the Obamacare plan. Obamacare plan that saved her life. Yep. Kathy Watson, outside her home in Lake City, Florida, the former business owner who relies on the Affordable Care Act for health coverage, voted for Trump, believing he wouldn't really repeal the health care. Like, these are the kind of people that really grinds my gears, okay? So she voted for Trump, believing that he wouldn't really repeal it. This, like, she's old enough to remember what happened back in 2016/2020. But for the late Senator John McCain, the Obamacare would not even be in existence now. But for the late Senator John McCain, the Obamacare would not even be in existence right now. What did Trump not do? What did Trump not do in his promise to repeal Obamacare? He did everything. Late John McCain, Senator John McCain, was a tiebreaker between Obamacare not being in existence anymore, canceling Obamacare. Like, she witnessed that, she saw that happened. And that's the thing, right? A lot of these people that vote for Trump, right? They vote for Trump because, they lie. They'll lie to you and tell you it's the economy, is this and is that. It's a lie. A lot of them vote because of their religious beliefs, religious sentiments. And so they vote for Trump because he's going to undo all the LGBT protections and undo all of the civil rights protection that protects Black people and stuff. So they'll vote for him to undo all of that. But then the good aspects, the good things, the good policies that were implemented by Democrat leaders, they will hope that there are enough Democrats, Senate and Congress to ensure that those policies stay in place for them. So they want to enjoy from both sides. They will vote for the leader that they believe is going to, help them solve the issue, their fear of LGBT, while hoping that some people will vote enough for Democrats, Senate, and Congress, so that those ones can uphold some of those values that Democrats really bring to the table. Like, do you see? Can you imagine? And now that the majority, the Senate majority, the majority is Republican. Also in Congress, the majority Republican. Now she's afraid. Now she doesn't have that protection. She doesn't have that democratic protection that protects her from still having access to the Obamacare. But this will be the same person who will be somewhere shouting and calling Obama all kinds of names. But she's more than happy. And a lot of them don't like oh gosh. A little research would have really helped these people. A little research. Somebody says the Latino said they are all white, so yes, they are different, black and proud. Don't switch sides. Oh my goodness. So Kathy Watson outside her home in the former business owner who relies on the Affordable Care Act for health coverage voted for Trump, believing he wouldn't really repeal the health care. The man did everything that he possibly could during his previous administration. Like, he did everything. The only reason why Obamacare still exists today is because of people like John McCain. Okay, and now we don't know. Now that they have majority Senate, who knows what they're gonna do? I'm sure they're gonna go back again once they're done destroying what they can destroy. I'm sure they're gonna go back. You know what I mean? I'm sure they're gonna go back to try and repeal it again. Oh, yeah. I feel nothing for y'all. I feel nothing for y'all.
Press conference in Doral Monday, Venezuelan Americans denounced the Trump administration and South Florida Republicans.
More than betrayed.
No.
Beyond betrayed. They used us.
No.
Actually, during the campaign, and I don't want to make this political, but during the campaign.
It's so funny how this woman says, and I don't want to make it political. Of course it is political. Are you crazy? You see the gaslighting?
The elected officials from the Republican Party, they actually told us that he was not going to touch the documented people.
How you believe that? Hey!
We vote for Donald Trump. He cracks me up every time. We vote. Let me play that song again to remind them. We vote for Donald Trump. We vote. Where's my we vote song for Donald Trump? That cracks me up every single time. They were holding concerts, taunting people who were basically saying, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. This is a bad idea. They were taunting people. They were throwing free concerts, vowing and promising to vote for Donald Trump. Well, looky here. Where's my we vote for Donald Trump video? I need to play that. I need to find that video and play it. Because I need to remind them of the rubbish that they did. We vote for Donald Trump. We vote for Donald Trump. We vote. Where's my we vote? Oh, where are you? Can't find it now. I wanted to use this one to end the video. To remind them what they signed up for. You can't cry now when the leopard is eating your face. The leopard.
Doral Monday.
Anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you guys so much. I might come back for one more videos, but we'll see. Thank you so much, guys. Hit the like button, and I will catch you later. Bye, guys.